diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good evening. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday. We're going to call it Wonderful Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it is Wednesday because the trash was taken. So I know. Nobody's on yet, so I'm sharing to multiple places. I didn't put in take 12. We'll know in a second. Let's go with recovery connections. Let's go with and Rocky Recovery. There we go. All right. Hey, hi Ingrid. Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you enjoyed that meeting if you were able to go. I should be there tomorrow. If you're gonna go back. Yeah, I was thinking about you. I was meeting with her name's Jennifer Clay. She's at the Colorado Consortium, and we were talking about the state of what was going on in Colorado and what we can do to change it, man. We came up with some great things. Really cool things. And she was able to provide me with some information I didn't have, which was nice. Went down to the church, saw Pastor Marsh. I had some packages down there. I'm getting pretty excited for it. But Ingrid, while I'm thinking about it, the club's going to grow and there are going to be more meetings. And what I want to do for you is set up a meeting time. You know what I mean? That's specifically for you. And you can kind of have your own meeting. I want to do that for you. So you and I can talk about that a little bit as the club starts to grow. Okay? So just know that I'll always keep you in mind. When I have stuff come up and I think you might want to do it, I'm going to ask you first before I put it out. I'm going to ask you first, right? I'm going to ask you first because you participate a lot, and I love you. You're one of my peeps. It reminded me of going with the retired folks in the beginning. Yeah, keep going, keep going. It'll get. My sponsor called yesterday, but didn't answer when I called back, and it's been a few days. I don't feel like. Send a text. That's what I would do. Send a text. Hey, I haven't heard from you in a few days. Are you all right? And leave it at that. Yeah. Because that way, if they're having a hard time picking up the phone, maybe that's what it is. You're calling, then try a text, a little less evasive. And then it gives them the choice. And then you'll know. So, all right. Tradition 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. That is what we do in AA. Okay? We carry the message, then you're off the hook, sweetie. Yeah, then you're off the hook. Okay? There's a saying in the counseling and therapy, there's a saying, never work harder than the client. Okay? So never work harder than your sponsee. Just don't. Okay? More will come along. Trust me. Okay? I've had, in the last 3 months, I've had 10 sponsees or so. It's the way it goes. So you just keep going. Okay? Now, I want you to think sponsorship this way. Okay? It isn't whether the other person makes it or not. If you stay sober, then you have a 100% success rate as a sponsor. if you did your job, did it the right way, then you have a 100% success rate because you are sober. Okay. Shoemaker, stick to thy last. Better do one thing supremely well than many badly. That is the central theme of this tradition. Around it, our society gathers in unity. The very life of our fellowship requires the preservation of this principle. Alcoholics Anonymous can be likened to a group of physicians who might find a cure for cancer, and upon whose concerted work would depend the answer for the sufferers of this disease. True, each physician in such group might have his own specialty. I hate this one. I don't. Doctors and cancer, they use it too much. Every doctor concerned would at times wish he could devote himself to his chosen field rather than work only with the group. But once these men had hit upon a cure, once it became apparent that only by their united effort could this be accomplished, then all of them would feel bound to devote themselves solely to the relief of cancer. In the radiance of such a miraculous discovery, any doctor would set aside his other ambitions at whatever personal cost. Yeah. Okay. It's about, and when I talk to other people, this is what it's about. People outside that are in our field but are non-alcoholic, or they don't have an addiction, but they're in the field, right? These people give up a lot of things at personal cost. Okay. I do. Okay. I give because I would much rather be a part of the group and broke than alone and rich. Yeah, that's what I would rather have. Just as firmly bound by obligations are the members of Alcoholics Anonymous, who have demonstrated that they can help problem drinkers as others seldom can. The unique ability of each AA to identify himself with and bring recovery to the newcomer in no way depends upon his learning, eloquence, or on any other special individual skills. No. You can have no skills at all. You don't need skills in this. You just need to understand your own experience, and that's it. That's it. Okay. The only thing that matters is that he is an alcoholic who has found the key to sobriety. Okay. Now that's important. Okay. Because until you finish the steps, don't sponsor. Well, I can do steps 1, 2, and 3. No, you can't. You haven't finished the steps. Okay. It's kind of like 90 and 90. There are 2 rules there. Well, I did my 90 days and I did my 90 meetings in 37 days. Great. You still have a month and a half of meetings to go to. There are 2 requirements. You need to go to a meeting every day for 90 days. Now, if you hit 2 in one day, the next day you go to a meeting. It doesn't count. We call that resting on our laurels, which means that you're using yesterday's success for today. And we can't do that. Don't ever fall into that. These legacies of suffering and of recovery are easily passed among alcoholics one to another. This is our gift from God, and its bestowal upon others like us is the one aim that today animates AAs all around the globe. Hey, Amber, how many times have you gone to a meeting and somebody fell over their words and they said this and they said that and and then and then I forgot where I was going with that. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't even remember. It's because this popped up. So I'm going to go to this. Somebody remind me what I was freaking talking about. I was scared to finish the steps because I thought I would have to be a sponsor, and I'm not great with people. Then you found out that you were much better at working with people than you thought. I'm your friend, man. Ingrid, you know it takes a while. It takes a while, right? It takes a little bit. You're great with people. I love it when you speak. So, okay. You're great with people. Weird, huh? There is another reason for the singleness of purpose. It is the great paradox of AA that we know we can seldom keep the precious gift of sobriety unless we give it away. You got to give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away now. Okay? You have to, or you can't keep it. In fact, what happens is the more you give away, the more you get. The more you give away, the more you get. I know. I didn't think it was going to work either. And then God removed my obsession and I started getting all the things that I need and I couldn't argue about it anymore. He gave me proof in the frickin' pudding, man. And a lot of times things almost happen immediately for me anymore. It's neat. It's kind of neat. All right. There's another reason for this singleness of purpose. Okay. If a group of doctors possessed a cancer cure, there might be constriction if they failed their mission through self-seeking. Yet, such a failure wouldn't jeopardize their personal survival. For us, if we neglect those who are still sick, okay, listen to that. If we neglect people who are still sick, I'm trying to find out where I was. Okay, still sick, there is an unremitting danger to our own lives and sanity. See what I was talking about? Being a sponsor and how you are at a 100% success rate. This is why. If we do not continue working with newcomers, then you're going to be one of those people who has 28 years who goes out. Okay? There again, time doesn't matter. Right? Amber and I kind of went back and forth, not back and forth, but I'm like, maybe we shouldn't let the newcomers speak for 2 weeks. And what we're going to do is give them, and it's still going to happen. What we're going to do is make sure that they either walk out with a sponsor or a sober buddy so that they are not alone. Okay. And that is me. That is me trying to figure something out, but it's a little old school and we're not really going that route anymore. And Amber convinced me that we're just not going to do that. But we are going to keep, hooking people up with sponsors and sober buddies. You bet. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do that. Also, and I think this is kind of neat because a lot of meetings don't do it, is we're going to be giving out chips for every month the first year. So 4 and 5, 7 and 8, and 10 and 11, right? It is. Chris, good to see you. I'm lucky I'm sober today too, huh? Under these compulsions of self-preservation, duty, and love, it is not strange that our society has concluded that it has but one high mission: to carry the AA message to those who do not know there is a way out. Okay. Even so, whenever I talk to professionals and we're talking about what's going on, I always bring this up to them. Well, I have lately. Okay. And it's true. Number one, AA is the largest organization in the world. Okay. It is. Go find another organization bigger than us. Let me know. I could be wrong. Okay. But I don't think I am. Right. But we are also the largest organization, and every single one of our members didn't want to join. Okay. And that helps them understand something. That it's us that needs to be working the detoxes, helping the treatment centers, things like that. So, Highlighting the wisdom of AA's single purpose, a member tells his story. So I hopped on the subway to Town's Hospital where I asked Dr. Silkworth if he had a prospect. Nothing too promising, little doc said. There's just one chap on the third floor who might be a possibility. I'm going to read this part a little bit fast. Trying to wrap up. Bye, Ingrid. I love you. Oh, and it's potatoes. Oh, now I'm hungry. Gosh. But he's an awfully tough Irishman. I never saw a man so obstinate. He shouts that his partner would treat him better and his wife would leave him alone. He'd soon solve his problems. He has a bad case of DTs. He's pretty foggy and he's very suspicious of everybody. Doesn't sound too good, does it? Sounds great to me. But working with him may do something for you. May do something for you. So even Silkworth had caught this, okay? Because Bill at one point was probably getting discouraged. He wasn't keeping anybody sober, right? Oh, Amber, I'm going to kill you. I'm just going to keep reading because I forgot what I was saying. So I have so many little thoughts and so many little things that need to be done that it's just, and until I get it done, it's just how it's going to be. I was soon sitting. Oh, Dr. Silkworth had told Bill, no, nobody else has stayed sober, but you have. That's what it was. I was soon sitting beside a hulk of a man, decidedly unfriendly. He stared at me out of eyes which were slits in his red and swollen face. I had to agree the doctor certainly didn't look good. But I told him my own story. I explained what a wonderful fellowship we had, how well we understood each other. I bore down on the hopelessness of the drunk's dilemma. I insisted that few drunks could ever get well on their own steam, but that in our groups we could do together what we could not do separately. He interrupted to scoff and asserted he'd fix his wife, his partner, and his alcoholism all by himself. Sarcastically, he asked, "How much does your scheme cost?" I was thankful I could tell him nothing at all. His next question, "And what are you getting out of it?" Great question, right? Of course, my answer was my own sobriety and a mighty happy life. Still dubious, he demanded, "Do you really mean that the only reason you are here is to try and help me and to help yourself?" "Yes," I said, "that's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle." And there really isn't. And I'm going to tell you your biggest contention. It's going to be God. So quelch it. See, as a salesperson, what you're taught is to, if you're pitching, bring up the rebuttals. Bring them up. That way at the end, they don't have any rebuttals. Answer the questions in your pitch. You will sound much like, and I tell you, that's what I do, right? Well, when I'm doing this, that is what I'm pitching. Okay. Yes, I said, that's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle. Then hesitantly, I ventured to talk about the spiritual side of the program. What a freeze the drunk gave me. I no soon got a word out. I got the word spiritual out of my mouth. Then he pounced. "Oh," he said, "now I get it. You're proselytizing for some damn religion sect or other. Where do you get with that no angle stuff? I belong to a great church. That means everything to me. You got nerve to come in here talking religion." All right. This is how I do it. Because anymore, everybody knows God's involved with AA. If they know about AA, they think it's religious. Okay? That's 90%. Some people don't. So, after we've talked for a little bit, I don't usually bring up God. Now, if they bring up God, then I will talk about God. But other than that, I have a question. And I say, there's no wrong answer to this because honestly, it's going to be entirely up to you. What have I done there? I've given them the power. Why? Because it is their power to their higher power, right? I tell them, and I say, there's no wrong answer here. I just need to know where you're at so I can help you. What are your thoughts on God? And just ask. Okay. I've never had anybody ever get mad at me for asking that question. If you bring it up that way, they're going to talk a little bit better with. They might get mad about religion, but they won't be mad at you. Got it? Okay. I'm laughing at this because it's so fucking true. Feel like Fight Club was one of my first intros to AA. A lot of people do refer Fight Club and AA a lot. Um, it's pretty funny. It fits. That's part of the problem. Um, thank heaven I came up with the right answer for that one. It was based foursquare on the single purpose of AA. You have faith, I said, perhaps far deeper faith than mine. No doubt you are better taught in religious matters than I. So I can't tell you anything about religion. I don't even want to try. I'll bet too that you give me a letter perfect definition of humility. But from what you have told me about yourself and your problems and how you propose to lick them, I think I know what's wrong. Here comes my favorite part. Okay, he said, give me the business. Well, I said, I think you're just a conceited Irishman who thinks he can run the whole show. We get to say things like this. We do. I'm going to tell you what that is. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But you can shove his fucking head in there and make him wish he did. It just happened. Bill just did it. Okay? Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. We're trying to help them solve this problem. And nobody has been able to be honest with them at all because they didn't understand it. They were naive. Okay? But you are different. Oh, that's what I remember I was saying. That somebody could be in a meeting, right? And they're like, they feel like they just jumbled all their words at the end. They're like, I hope you understood that. And everybody in the room's like, yeah. I'm not dressed fancy. I'm just wearing a nice shirt. This is my purple shirt. This is my purple power shirt. I put it on when I have important things to do. I had a meeting and I had to go to the church. So I'm trying to dress a little bit nicer because I'm going out. For the longest time, that's the only way I dressed. Suit tie. Anyway, all right. This really rocked him, but as he calmed down, he began to listen while I tried to show him that humility was the main key to sobriety. Finally, he saw that I wasn't attempting to change his religious views, that I wanted him to find the grace in his own religion that would aid his recovery. From there on, we got along fine. Yeah, dressed nice for Jeebus. Woo! If you wore pajamas into my sales office, I'd fire you. I would. I have a tie. I call it my Trump tie. Okay? Because if I wore it, somebody was getting fired that day. Yep. They caught on too. Once they caught on, you know what I'd do? I'd wear it one day just out of the blue and not fire anybody. Just to keep them wondering. All right, now concludes the old timer. Suppose I've been obliged to talk to this man on religious grounds. Suppose my answer had to be that AA needed a lot of money, that AA went for education, hospitals, rehabilitation. Yeah, that's gonna dirt. That's, but yeah. There's nothing wrong with being comfortable doing sales. It's all preference. Went in for, and you're selling toner. I mean, I used to talk to oil guys for millions of dollars, so you got to dress apart. Suppose I suggested I take a hand in his domestic and business affairs. Where would we have wound up? No place, of course. Years later, this tough Irishman liked to say, my sponsor sold me on one idea, and that was sobriety. At the time, I couldn't have bought anything else. See? See, for us, we're bringing something that's nice and simple, and, it's not overwhelming. Whereas if a therapist comes in, it's going to feel, boom, it's going to feel different. Okay. Because even that therapist wants something. Okay. They're making money off of me. That is something. Really is. And it makes a huge difference. Only dress code is cover your shit. Yeah. Bathe. I'd make that a rule. That's not really a dress code, is it? So, all right. That is tradition 5 from the 12 by 12. It's a pretty short one. Had a lot of fun here. I gotta get my website done. So, and Amber, I'm gonna make a group chat for all this because we have a couple more volunteers to help us out with Zoom. Now we got 4 of us. So, all right, thank you everybody for being here. I love you. Peace out, and you have a day.